So let's start there, and then we'll go to the first, second, and third teams. We got these from the league office earlier today. No surprise to anyone that the winner of the Eastern Division was the predicted winner of the Eastern Division was the Georgia Bulldogs, right? That was not a surprise to anyone. And we got there it is. Sorry, I was trying to click on it. All right, so in the East, Georgia picked to finish first. Kentucky picked to finish second in the East, and they got 4 first-place votes. Tennessee picked to finish third in the East. They got 1 first-place vote. Florida 4th, South Carolina 5th, Missouri 6th, Vanderbilt 7th. And Vanderbilt received 1 first-place vote. Michael Borky swears that it was not him.
It was not me. In fact, I know it wasn't me because that was my exact order.
All right. Hey, Dad, was that the same order for you?
My order was as follows: Georgia, Kentucky, South Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, Missouri, Vanderbilt.
Okay, so a lot of difference there. I went Georgia 1, Tennessee 2. So I picked Tennessee second in the East, Kentucky 3. So just flip-flop those 2. Then I had Florida 4, South Carolina 5, Missouri 6, and Vanderbilt 7. So just flip-flopping Tennessee and Kentucky, and I certainly could be convinced otherwise. Honestly, the reason that I picked Tennessee in front of Kentucky is because I think Ole Miss is going to beat Kentucky in Oxford on October 1st, and I think that could very well be the difference in Tennessee finishing second and third. I think that game is that big, and if Kentucky wins that game in Oxford, then I could very well see Kentucky finishing second in front of Tennessee. It's just my rationale on that. Western Division. Here is the predicted order of finish by the media. Alabama 1. Texas A&M 2. They got 3 first-place votes. By the way, Alabama got 177 of a possible 181 first-place votes. A&M picked second. They got 3 first-place votes. Arkansas got 1 first-place vote. They were picked to finish third. Ole Miss 4th. LSU 5th. Mississippi State 6th. And Auburn 7. I'm guessing we've got some differences of opinion in the SEC West. Hey, Dad, what was your order of predicted finish in the West?
Alabama 1, Arkansas 2, Texas A&M 3, Mississippi State 4, LSU 5, Ole Miss 6, Auburn 7.
Okay. You and I have a pretty significant difference in the West. Borky, what'd you pick?
Okay.
I held my nose and had A&M 2, although I hate it. I hate it, but I did it. Okay. Arkansas 3, Ole Miss 4, State 5, LSU 6, Auburn 7.
Okay. Homer alert. I know it's coming, and that's fine. I do have rationale for why I did it. I've got Alabama 1, Ole Miss 2 in the West. Just stop, hey, Dad. I will explain why. You don't have to agree with it.
I can't wait to hear it.
Well, okay. Arkansas 3, Mississippi State 4, Texas A&M 5,
Ooh, A&M,
LSU 6, and Auburn 7. So I'm assuming you're waiting for rationale?
I am waiting.
It's the schedule, man.
Bated breath.
It's the schedule. And here's where I'm going. So how many times have I said on this show, until proven otherwise, I'm going to trust that Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss figure it out offensively? That feels like maybe a little more leap of faith this year than in some years because of the uncertainty at the quarterback position. I think they are good on the offensive line. I think they are good in the running back room. I think receiver is going to be better this year with some of the additions that they've got. Now, obviously, this could all change if they don't have good health. And I think defensively they're going to be okay. But the schedule, I believe in the way this schedule sets up for them to have success. I think they jump out to a 7-0 start. So Ole Miss, we've been through it a million times, right? Troy, Central Arkansas, Georgia Tech, Tulsa. I think they beat Kentucky at home. I think they beat Vanderbilt, and I think they beat Auburn. So that's a 3-0 start. And look, if I'm going to pick LSU 6th in the West, that means I think Ole Miss is beating LSU. If I'm picking A&M 5th in the West, that means I think that Ole Miss is beating Texas A&M. I think they lose to Alabama. I think that Arkansas game is kind of that's the one on the schedule that scares me. Trip to Arkansas the week after Alabama, next to last game of the regular season. Weather could be an issue. And then I think Ole Miss beats Mississippi State. I think 6-2 in the West, if that's where they finish, is good enough to be in second place. So that's the rationale. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to like it. That's fine. But that's where I am. Shaq Bully says, get a cup for Richard to pee in. I'm assuming he is alluding to the fact that he thinks I'm high. Somebody says,
I thought I was being a
it
homer
is
picking
legal
state
now.
fourth. Man.
All right. So, yeah.
Bo in Indianola says he agrees with me. Somebody said, I literally just laughed aloud in my office at Ole Miss at number 2.
Bo in Indianola is a big-time rebel, too.
Well, that's fine.
I'm
that's
not
fine.
surprised he agrees with you.
And look, laughing out loud at that is fine. But I gave you my rationale as to why. Am I shocked if Ole Miss finishes 5th in the West? No, of course not. And you got toss-up games all over the place, right? I mean, if they lose to Kentucky, they lose at LSU, they lose to A&M, they lose to Alabama, well, that's 4 losses right there. Do they win the other 4? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they go 3-5 in the league, and that puts you in 5th place. I just think there's a path there. And why the heck not? We live in Mississippi. What's your rationale, hey, Dad, for having Ole Miss 5th in the West? Or 6th, wherever you have it.
6th. I just feel like for sure they'll lose to Alabama, Arkansas. They might beat A&M, but I feel like A&M is 8-4, 5-3. That's what I've got them in the conference. I think they'll lose to State. I have State 8-4, 4-4. And then LSU Ole Miss was sort of a coin flip for me, and I just gave the edge to LSU because it's at home for the Tigers. I think Ole Miss starts 6-1, and then they'll drop a few games at the end. I think they're going to lose. I think Kentucky is going to beat both Mississippi schools this year.
Okay. We get some messages on the C Spire text line. Ole Miss, Arkansas, Mississippi State, and A&M could all finish between 2 and 6 in the West. I agree with that. Here's one. As a state grad, Rich, you're on point. Thumbs up. I'm glad for once one of you gives Ole Miss a chance. That's from Billy in Ocean Springs. When did SuperTalk start handing out crack on Fridays? That is obviously a dissenting opinion.
Casual Crack Friday. It's the new thing.
Your buddy.
I voted Ole Miss 2nd in the West last year. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure I did.
Your buddy Matt Moscona scared me away from LSU. I thought, well, it's LSU and Brian Kelly is a good coach. When he said the phrase, and he's great at what he does, talented, all that, but knowing how he feels about LSU, and when he said the phrase 8-4 would be a success, I thought, oh,
yeah,
they're not ready yet to.
No, not ready yet. Here's another message. Ole Miss will be better at every position except for quarterback, and to be honest, quarterback position could be just fine. Another one says quarterback play will be on the quarterback play is the key. Crack Friday with Richard, a new segment idea. Also, I see your rationale.
I don't think we can get that one sponsored.
Probably not. See your rationale be tough for them to win at A&M and at LSU. Agreed. I do. Sports Talk.